Is Sai Baba one of the masters? Well, the answer is no. He is not. He is not a member of our present earth humanity. He's a visitor. He's what's generally called an avatar. An avatar is one who comes from beyond, comes into the world, usually drawn into the world by the needs of the world to serve the world in a particular way as an avatar, a teacher, to release higher energy and so on. And the question is Sai Baba one of the masters? No. On the other hand, he works with Maitreya, I don't know every day, but he works with him in a general sense. And this question is often put as in the form of, what is the relationship between Maitreya and Sai Baba? And the relationship is that they both embody the energy of love. They are both Christs. Maitreya is a planetary Christ. It's quite extraordinary. This not very evolved planet in the middle of the fourth round has evolved a Christ. It's a very exceptional happening to create a Christ. Other planets, for instance Mars, which is at the same level in the middle of the fourth round, is more or less at the same point in evolution as Earth, has not created a Christ. It has a fantastic evolution. We see it in the UFOs, most of which are made on Mars and come from Mars and do the work of succor for Earth, cleansing our planet of the muck which we pour into the air and cause death and destruction to ourselves. The space people, not only the Martians, but the Martians in particular, do a great deal of salvage in our atmosphere with the use of their UFOs, which we of course don't believe in. Sai Baba is an embodiment of the Christ principle from a cosmic point of view. Maitreya is an embodiment of the Christ principle from the planetary point of view. So he's a planetary Christ. Sai Baba is not of our earth evolution. Maitreya is of our earth evolution. He began so many million years ago you would not believe it. You would not believe how old he is. But in the earlier Atlantean race, he took what was then the highest of the planetary initiations, which today is only the third of the 5 initiations. And that was 8 million years ago. So, you know, the kind of man we're dealing with. Sai Baba is in a human body, obviously a male body, but a human body, but is not a human in the ordinary sense, not an earth human. He is a human in the fact that he's in a human body, but he comes from elsewhere as an avatar into the world. Maitreya is not in a human body, he's in a self-created body. It's homemade, you know, he made it himself. But he is out of the human evolution, although he is in this self-created body. These two great beings work together all the time. They spread the love of God to all who can absorb it and use it. And they are creating a new heaven. It is our job to create the new earth. As I said, I believe that Maitreya will come forward very soon. He will first of all come on a major television network in this country, which will allow him to speak to millions of people, but not as Maitreya. He will not be called Maitreya. He will just be one of us, an ordinary man, but with extraordinary ideas. Then he will speak in Japan in the same way on television, and then all the television networks of the world will want that man to come and speak until he becomes very well known, and as people hearing about it will say, but that's sense. That is the only sensible thing I've heard this year. And they will join up, and they will, he has got a flag, you know, which says freedom, justice, right relationship, and they will want to, that cause of freedom and justice for everybody, they will join, they will give him their allegiance, and that will grow and grow until so many that the nations of the world, the governors of the world, the politicians of the world, the Mr. Bushes of the world will say, okay, we give in. It's up to you people to do what you will, and you people will put to rights the world. That's how it will be. Then will come the day of declaration, when enough people have responded to his teaching and the changes are beginning to take place. They will call on Maitreya to speak to the whole world, and he will come on television, linked together by satellite, so that everyone everywhere can see him. On that day, arranged in advance, of course, by media, you will be told to tune in at a certain station, and you will see the face of this extraordinary being, by now familiar. But this time he will not speak. He will not say a word. He is omniscient, omnipresent. He will come into telepathic rapport with every individual on the planet above the age of 14, and each of us will hear him inwardly in our own language, whatever it is. You will hear him in English, the French in French, the Russians in Russian, the Chinese in Chinese, the Polish in Polish, the Poles in Polish, and so on. Whatever is your language, that is what you will hear inside. He will talk about the level from which humanity has come, the great divine nature which is ours, and the fall which we have made into materialism. He will show a short history of the world. He will speak about the future, the extraordinary life which awaits us in the future when we have set to rights the world, when we have given up war as a means of settling problems, and when all the people of the world are eating on a daily basis, when the food and the raw materials are being shared, and a new life is possible for the world. He will introduce the fact of his group, the masters of the spiritual hierarchy. He will probably name a few of them, best known like Jesus, so on. And soon after that, one by one, they will introduce themselves. I don't mean on that same day, but soon after the day of declaration, one by one, the masters will be introduced to the world, and we will know them, and the world will begin to change. The masters will not do it, but they will advise, they will teach, and we will do the work. Maitreya has said every brick, every stone of the new age must be built by human hands, and by human hands it will be built. The temple, as he calls it, the new temple of life, will be built by human hands, and by the expansion of human consciousness, humanity will begin to create as the divine creates. We will become co-workers with God.